Have you ever shrunk yourself just to make someone else comfortable? Have you dimmed your light so you wouldn't outshine the room? Today, I want to tell you, stop. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are, what you dream, or how you choose to live your life. Have you ever found yourself trying to justify your dreams, your passions, or even your personality to someone else, hoping they'll understand, hoping they'll approve? The truth is, you weren't born to be a walking pitch deck. Your life is not a boardroom presentation needing nods and signatures. You are not a project proposal that needs to be accepted, revised, or approved before it can be pursued. Your goals were placed in your heart for a reason. They don't require validation to be real. When you feel a fire within you, whether it's to start a business, move abroad, write a book, or live life in your own unconventional way, that fire is already enough of a reason. Too often we hesitate. We rewrite ourselves to be more acceptable, more understandable, or worse, more palatable. We explain every move, every thought, every risk to people who were never meant to understand it in the first place. Think about the greatest change makers. Did they wait for permission? Did they ask, do you get it? Or will you support me? No. They acted, they created, they pursued, because their vision didn't come with a group consensus. It came with courage. Your dreams are not committee work. They are your responsibility. The minute you stop seeing yourself as something to be approved or explained is the moment you start truly living. When you stop asking, will they be okay with this, and start asking, am I okay with this, that's when you begin to operate from a place of power. And from that place, the world stops being a panel of judges and starts becoming your canvas. Live your truth, walk your path, and let your results speak louder than any explanation ever could. There's a fine line the world often tries to blur between confidence and arrogance, but make no mistake, they are not the same. Confidence is knowing your worth, it's walking into a room without shrinking, it's speaking up not because you think you're better, but because you know your voice matters. Arrogance, on the other hand, is rooted in insecurity, a loud performance trying to mask doubt. Confidence is quiet, it doesn't beg for attention, it simply exists unapologetically. People will sometimes label you arrogant just because you refuse to apologize for taking up space. They'll say you're too much when you speak with clarity, or full of yourself when you set firm boundaries. That's not your problem. It's their discomfort with your self-assurance. Society often conditions us, especially women, to dim our light, to be humble to the point of invisibility. But true confidence doesn't require you to shrink. It requires you to show up as your full self with honesty and grace. Being confident doesn't mean you think you're always right. It means you're secure enough to be wrong, to learn, and to grow. It means you can lift others up without it threatening your own shine. It's knowing that your value is not dependent on anyone else's opinion. So when someone mistakes your confidence for arrogance, remember it's not your job to make yourself smaller for their comfort. Let them misinterpret if they must. You know the difference. You're not here to impress, you're here to express. And when you live from that space with grounded confidence and purpose, you don't need to explain or defend it. Your presence, your poise, and your power will speak for you. No ego required. Not everyone will understand your path, and that's okay. The right people won't need a roadmap, a speech, or an explanation to support you. They will feel your intention. They'll see your heart, your hustle, and your vision, even if it doesn't look like theirs. The people meant for you won't ask you to dilute your dreams so they can swallow them more easily. They'll simply stand beside you, no justifications required. We spend so much time trying to make others get it, why we chose this career, this lifestyle, this partner, this version of ourselves. But when someone truly aligns with you, they don't need the backstory to believe in your forward movement. They don't require you to translate your passion into a language they prefer. They trust your journey, even if they don't fully understand every step. Think of the people who make you feel light, seen, and at ease. They're the ones who don't press you for details to validate your choices. They offer support without an interrogation. That's real alignment. You shouldn't have to argue your value or present your life as a case study to win someone's respect. And when people do demand constant explanation, it often says more about their limitations than yours. Sometimes their inability to understand you is rooted in their fear of anything that challenges their norms. Let them sit with their discomfort. It's not your job to resolve it. Your energy is sacred. Save your breath for the people who are already listening with their hearts. Let your life be your message, not your defense. When you surround yourself with people who trust you, even in your silence, you'll realize the true power of walking your path without needing permission. Your life is not a group discussion. It's not a trending topic up for public opinion. You don't need a jury to approve your choices or a round table to co-sign your direction. Who you love, what you believe in, where you work, how you dress, or what dreams you chase, none of it requires a vote. Too often, we internalize the idea that our lives must make sense to everyone around us. We hesitate, overthink, or delay decisions just to avoid the judgment that might follow. But here's the truth. People will have opinions regardless. No matter what you choose, someone will question it. So why live for their expectations instead of your truth? You weren't born to be a people pleaser. You were born to live a life that feels right to you, not one that fits neatly into other people's comfort zones. If someone doesn't understand your path, that doesn't mean you're wrong. It means they're not equipped to see your vision. That's not your responsibility to fix. The moment you stop placing your life on a metaphorical stage for applause or approval is the moment you reclaim your peace. You don't owe explanations for choosing yourself. You don't need to make your journey digestible for others to justify it as valid. This is your one life. You get to define it and know. One, not your family, friends, colleagues, or strangers online, gets to decide how you live it. Their opinions are just noise. Your inner voice is the only one that matters. So live boldly. Make mistakes. Take turns others wouldn't dare. Because when you stop debating your worth and start owning your story, the world has no choice but to respect your present, even if they never understand your path. Silence is often misunderstood. People see it as weakness, passivity, or a lack of confidence. But true silence, the kind that comes from knowing who you are, is one of the most powerful forces you can possess. It takes immense strength to stay quiet when you could defend yourself, to hold your peace when others expect a reaction, and to walk away when every part of you wants to prove a point. We live in a world that demands constant commentary. We're expected to explain ourselves, justify our decisions, and respond to every opinion thrown our way. But sometimes silence is the most profound response, not because you have nothing to say, but because what you could say simply isn't worth your energy. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're avoiding the truth. It means you've risen above the noise. It's the confidence to let your actions speak louder than your words. It's the maturity to understand that not every criticism deserves your attention, and not every challenge needs to be met with an argument. There's peace in knowing that your worth isn't up for negotiation. In silence, you regain control. You create space to think, to heal, to refocus. You stop giving away pieces of yourself in the form of unnecessary explanations. And most importantly, you learn to listen to yourself, to what truly matters, and to the clarity that comes when the noise fades. So next time someone pushes for a reaction or doubts your journey, remember, you don't owe the world a word. Your silence isn't surrender, it's strategy, it's self-respect, and it's proof that you no longer need external validation to know your value. Let them wonder, let your growth speak, let your silence echo louder than their doubt ever could. In a world obsessed with visibility, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing approval. We measure our worth in likes, shares, comments, digital applause that fades just as fast as it comes. But real impact doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the quiet choices you make when no one's watching. Choosing legacy over likes means you're not here for temporary validation. You're here to build something that lasts. It's tempting to cater to what's popular, to follow trends, to adjust yourself for more attention. But likes are fickle. They don't remember who you are when the algorithm changes. Legacy, on the other hand, is about purpose. It's about what you create, how you make people feel, the lives you touch, and the values you stand for. Legacy doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from being bold enough to follow your own path, even if it's unpopular. It comes from making decisions based on your truth, not the approval of strangers. It's found in the depth of your work, not the volume of your audience. When you choose legacy, you stop performing and start building. You realize that fame is fleeting, but authenticity endures. You begin to act with intention rather than impulse. You understand that it's not how many people are watching that matters. It's what they remember when you're gone. Ask yourself, do you want to be liked for who you pretend to be, or respected for who you truly are? One gets applause, the other builds history. Don't trade your future for instant gratification. Build something meaningful. Stand for something bigger, because the world doesn't need more people who are liked. It needs more people who leave a legacy.